What up, Laker Nation? It is I, your boy DTLF, again with a third straight video of the day. So your boy's staying busy, and I love it, man. Free agency just getting underway. Well, unofficially, it officially starts June 29th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. But a lot of news, a lot of rumors. Lakers just adding a brand new assistant coach to Darvin Ham's coaching staff. Lakers hiring Nets assistant coach Jordan Ott from for Darvin Ham's new staff. Sources tell ESPN Ott will move into a more prominent role on the Lakers bench. Now, Jordan Ott was with the Atlanta Hawks from 2013 to 2016, which is the same time Darvin Ham was on the staff. So they're familiar, man, and it's great. It's great that he's adding some familiarity. Blah, that word always kills me. Familiar. Oh, I'm not even gonna pronounce it. But we're getting more familiar with the coaching staff, and it's getting crazy, man. Free agency is about to kick off. Angel, appreciate you, bro. My boy said, "Is there a way to get Seth Curry and Kyrie?" Well, there's a will, there's a way, and people started speculating that Jordan Ott obviously is an assistant coach for the Nets last season. That maybe Kyrie's on the way, but I won't go that far. Again, this is something that Darvin Ham's doing. He's strengthening up the assistant coaching staff, and he's bringing in guys he's familiar with. Again, they worked together in Atlanta sideline back in 2013 all the way to 2016. So just so you guys know. How y'all feeling today, though, man? So much, man. So much. He's close to Kyrie, too. Yeah, but nothing unfolding there as of right now. They're at a standstill between Brooklyn and Kyrie. I assume we're going to hear more about it over the next coming days. So unless everything falls apart, then we'll go from there. Now, Bradley Beal, according to reports, has opted out. Right, has opted out of his contract. That's interesting though, because he's kind of refuting the reports talking about what. But reports are that Washington star Bradley Beal will decline his $36.4 million player option for the 2022-23 season and become an unrestricted free agent this summer. So Beal can sign as much as $285 million with the Wizards. Now remember, the Lakers cannot pull off a sign and trade, man. Lakers cannot pull off a sign and trade. Thank you all. Appreciate the love, man. Draft this Thursday. Can't wait to see what happens. Yes. Hey, Shoe Medic, by the way, bro, I dropped a video of my 3 sleepers that I would like the Lakers to pick, at least one of them, if we even trade up for a pick. So definitely check that out, man. Thanks, LBJ. Appreciate you, bro. Seth is another shooter. I would love to have Seth Curry. Seth Curry's always been underrated around the league, and he's, as a standstill shooter, some might argue he's actually better than his brother. Now, his brother could take you off the dribble and do everything. But Seth, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Dan, Rasheed Wallace still possible, or is it over? Not sure, man. Rumors were that it was between Jordan Ott and Rasheed Wallace, but we could still bring him on, I'm sure. I'm sure he can bring on as many assistants as he wants. So I am curious to see what happens there. Now, PJ Tucker has opted out. In other news, Kendrick Nunn has opted in. So he's going to pick up his player option, and he will be a Laker next season unless he gets traded. Now that he has picked up his player option, he can very well get traded. So there is that possibility. All right. But, man, free agency underway, man. Rumors going ham right now. I'm just reading right here on Bleacher Report that New York wants to trade up to the number 5th pick, and they're dangling Cam Reddish amongst other players. The 76ers are shopping Matisse Thybulle, which I like, right? He's a pretty good defensive player and a pick. They're pursuing PJ Tucker, so they're trying to clear up some cap. Maybe those are the type of players we can land if we want to, take on some cap. But who knows? Hey, LA for life. What's up, brother? Heck yeah, 310, bro. 310 West Corregidor Street. That's where I grew up in, man. Compton in the house. Yes, sir. Angel Torres, he said, wait, why can't we do a sign and trade for Beal while giving them rust? Because any sign and trade will hard cap us and means we can't even sign veterans to veterans minimum. We would basically just get scraps, right? Look, at the end of the day, I don't completely understand the salary cap, but that's just what I heard. We cannot do any sign and trades. The only way we could have been able to potentially trade for Bradley Beal was if he would have opted into his contract. Now, since he is unofficial as of right now, he's obviously refuting reports, but there's a lot of cryptic messages being sent out by Bradley Beal's camp. So it could be that maybe he knows where he wants to go. The best case scenario would be the same as Kyrie. They opt into the final year and they get traded, right? It's almost like a sign and trade, but it's more like a final opt in and then trade. Same thing with Russell Westbrook. We can't trade him until he opts in. I don't know why he keeps holding the Lakers hostage, but he's doing it. It's a nice cut, bro. Thank you, man. Hey, man, it gets hot, man. The summer's here. I got to stay clean cut. I went to go hoop, so I got to shave it off. Hard cap, did we do a sign and trade? Yes, sir. There you go. Hard cap. Will Russ get traded, and how are you? I'm doing good, Fish. Thanks for asking, man. Will Russell Westbrook get traded? My gut says yes. But, I've been wrong before. But my gut tells me, yes, he will get traded. Now, I don't know if that's going to be, before the training camp starts. But I believe if I had to bet the house on it, yeah. Now, he very well could start off the season with the Lakers. And then somewhere midway through the season, if it doesn't work out or he's bringing that bad energy, then the Lakers will do whatever it takes to get him off the books. But rumor has it that the Lakers are trying to shop him. And also that the Charlotte Hornets are interested. I dropped a video earlier today talking about that. He said, to be honest, Russ was not bad in Washington. Now, but do you truly believe that Washington would be wanting to take on Russell Westbrook? Well, if they want to get out of the Bradley Beal situation and get some assets in return, we could offer them the 2027th and 2029 picks, which could be high value, right? Depending on where we're at during that time. Nobody knows who has a crystal ball. We could offer them that and THT plus Russell Westbrook for Bradley Beal and maybe somebody else, some filler, right, to fill the cap space. But I'm pretty sure they're going to get better trade offers for Bradley Beal. He's no Kyrie Irving, meaning he's not polarizing off the court. He's somebody who has his head on his shoulders at all times, and he shows up. However, he has dealt with some injuries throughout his career, so I don't know if that does anything to his trade value. But at the end of the day, Bradley Beal is going to be a sought-after name, right? He's a modern-day Ray Allen. That's the way I see him, right? Still in his prime. Good to go, man. Catch-and-shoot guy, could also create for himself. Elite, three-level scorer. And is also a solid defender when he wants to be. I've seen him lead that team. So, yep. Michael, he said, DTLF, you good, my guy? I'm doing really good, man. This is my third video I dropped today. Am I breaking records here? No, I think last summer I dropped a day of 3 videos as well. And shoot, I wouldn't even mind doing a fourth one if something breaks for the Lakers late at night, right? If it breaks at 12 midnight and I'm awake, I'm coming live, guys. And whoever's here with me, cool. Anybody else can catch up. But, yeah, make sure you keep that post notification bell on. That way you guys can be the first to hear it. Bottom line is, I was at the park, guys. I was at the park when I heard the news of Jordan Ott. I think he's a very good assistant coach, and he's going to get promoted here and play a primary role for the Lakers. Again, video coordinator, back in the day for the Atlanta Hawks, and I'm not sure what role he played in Brooklyn. I didn't truly pay attention, but he's been an assistant for the Nets last year, and I look forward to obviously we allowed Darvin to hire his own coaching staff, and let's see how far he could take us now. He's gonna be really comfortable. I caught all the great content as usual. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And yeah, definitely great content, man. I'm putting hours into this work, so I'm sure. I hope you guys truly enjoy it. He said, could we do Beal to LA, Russ to Hornets, and Brogdon to the Wizards? Don't know if the money works. We'd have to check the trade machine, but that is a good question. If that would work, Beal to LA, Russ to the Hornets, and Brogdon to the Wizards. But what are the what are the Pacers getting? What are the Pacers getting, man? What, like Brogdon coming in play? What do they get? Like a draft pick or something? He said, from this recent roster, who do you realistically see the Lakers bringing back? Melo, Dwight, Avery Bradley, etc. Well, if I'm the Lakers, I'm going for the big fish first, right? I'm swinging for the fences as far as Bradley Beal goes, swinging for the fences with Kyrie, whoever else we could potentially get our hands on. We're going hard, right? And then if that's not available, then we have to go ahead and turn the page and go out the role players. I would hope that from the names you mentioned, I would love to bring back. Obviously, Malik Monk should be top priority. I wouldn't mind Melo off the bench, even though this year we want to play defense. So Melo's not the best defender, but when he tries, he's solid. Dwight Howard for size. If we can't get nobody else, people have talked about Boogie Cousins. We've talked about Mo Bamba. We don't know what kind of money he's going to command in the open market. We've talked about Hassan Whiteside. We've talked about so many different bigs. But realistically, we could bring back Dwight under that veterans minimum. I'm not sure what the market is looking like for him. But look, from all those players, the least My least favorite candidate to bring back. Let's see. Avery Bradley would probably be my least favorite, even though he plays defense offensively. At times, he's just not non-efficient, right? Mid range is okay, slashing okay. He had a couple games where he broke out, but man, he had more inefficient offensive games than offensive games. We're gonna need our offense to click, and we're gonna need some floor spacers. So even though I love his defense, man, I'd rather have Austin Reeves out there because I feel like he has a better jump shot. If that's the case, getting those minutes. Matter of fact, we argued a lot of times during the post-game recaps on this here channel because some people wanted Bradley, some of us wanted Austin Reeves to get those minutes. And but to be determined, man, we gotta go after the big fish first, and then we can go after the role players. I've seen a lot saying Dwight doesn't want to come off the bench if he comes back. Sure, he does. At his age, I'm sure he'll be all right, right? Especially if he plays for a respectable coaching staff. A lot of people didn't respect. That's the thing. A lot of people didn't respect Frank Vogel, so they wanted to walk all over him. However, when you're a counterpart who's playing for a bigger cause than your own, then we should be straight with that, for reals. He said, I want Thomas Bryant back. There's a name that I would love to have. And I don't know, again, what the open market holds. And again, if we clear cap by trading away Russ or not. But some people have even suggested that we should just dump Russell Westbrook's salary just to re-sign Malik Monk. And the thing is, you don't want to have dead cap on your team that could impact you years moving forward. You want to have as much flexibility as possible. And people don't believe that his expiring contract, a lot of comments in the comment section telling me, Dan, who the heck's going to want Russell Westbrook? You're delusional. Listen, he's an expiring contract. You could have said the same thing for Kwame Brown, and he brought in Pau Gasol. Now, I'm not expecting the same return. If we could bring a great return like a Kyrie or a Zach or a Bradley Beal, that would be amazing. But I'm not expecting that. At the very least, some formidable role players if he does get traded. If not, then, no trade is better than a bad trade. I suggest if we're getting poor offers that are going to handicap us for years to come, then we should just sit on that contract and bring him off the bench. And then once it expires, trust me, we're going to have tons of cap flexibility next year in 2023, 2024 offseason. And you know who's a free agent? Go look at the free agents list. Headlined by Jokic. Imagine we could pair up Jokic and Anthony Davis, and then if LeBron wants to re-sign, then we'd have our big three there. There's going to be options, though, however. So let's see what happens. If the rumors aren't true that Bradley Beal is opting out of his contract, then he can opt in, play his final year with Washington, and then go to the Lakers next season when we have cap space. However, obviously, they have his bird rights, so they can pay him way more than we can. With the bird rights, Bradley Beal can become the highest paid player in the history, I think, in the history of the NBA, or at least I haven't heard of this type of contract. $248 million, 5-year deal. So they have the bird rights. Are they willing to pay him that, though? Since they're not competing, they're not contending. Sometimes small market teams like that just want to sell tickets, and they'd be okay with handing out that money anyways. They have to spend the cap somewhere, right? And sometimes they're like, well, we're not competitive. We can get draft assets in return, and we don't have to pay a player that much and lock ourselves up, because if he gets injured, guess what? That will be a hard contract to get off. Almost impossible. So it all depends on how GMs are thinking. I have no idea how the Washington Wizards GM thinks. So we just got to sit back and watch. My boy Keith said, Luol Deng is off the books finally. Yes, sir. About time, right? About time, man. He said that's a 2K type of move if the Lakers get Jokic. My thing, I'm not predicting anything, but my thing is when you have $80 million in cap, let's just say LeBron James wants to move to a powerhouse. He goes to somewhere else, right? Next season. He very well could opt into and play one more year and then decide what to do later. But let's just say for some reason it doesn't work out this year and he decides to go elsewhere. He wants to, ring chase or whatever. Lakers will be left with 80 million plus in cap space and Anthony Davis and a new coaching staff that I think is going to be a very good pitching at pitching to free agents. So anything's possible, but don't put it out of the realm of possibility. Is it likely? Not likely. Is it possible? Hell yes. Money, Los Angeles, championship history, great coaching staff, and again, the city of LA. He said, hey, Dan, could Russ opt out? And if for some reason Russ opts out, what do you think the Lakers do from there? I think we'll have more cap flexibility. Again, I'm not a cap expert. Try Trevor Lane. Those guys will explain the cap a little bit better. But I will say this. I do think we'll have more flexibility if by any miracle chance he decides to opt out. But at his age, he's not going to get anywhere near that contract anywhere else. And I doubt he'll ever get another huge contract like that again. So if I was him, I wouldn't opt out, right? Plus, he has a chance to redeem himself before he goes into his next free agency while collecting a big ass paycheck while potentially contending for a championship. So if I was him, I wouldn't opt out unless he knows he's going to get traded somewhere he doesn't want to be, and his ego gets in the way, and he's like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna roll the dice, get paid less, and hope for another big contract, one more for his career. But I doubt he does that. The chances of that are slim to none, right? But that would be a blessing in disguise for the Lakers. All of a sudden, we can re-sign Malik Monk. We can go out there and get other free agents, valuable role players that could potentially help the Lakers moving forward this season. Hey, what's up, Tasia? What's up? What's up? The Lakers are old and aged. I'm a Lakers fan, but be honest, he said. Time to clean house. This super team thing will not work because our guys are old. Trade them now. Get as many first-round picks as possible. Nah, bro, I don't agree with you. LeBron James still playing prime basketball. Anthony Davis, if he could stay healthy, he's still in his prime. And we only have about 5 or 6 players on the roster. So how could you say we're old right now when a lot of these guys might not come back and we're looking to get younger? So you cannot have that type of evaluation right now before we even know what the roster rounds out and looks like. So, yeah, I don't agree with you there. Plus, I think we're actually one good move away or two from becoming real serious title contenders. And what I mean by that is obviously if you can acquire a Bradley Beal, a Kyrie, or a Zach LaVine, the role players will start fitting in like pieces to the puzzle, right? It's just going to come in naturally. Guys will take pay cuts to join that team. Trust me. So we're a lot closer to competing for a championship than rebuilding. This pipe dream that a lot of people have about rebuilding, most of those fans that think like that are not LeBron fans or think AD's too fragile. They're thinking, glass half empty than half full. So you got to have an optimistic, positive mentality. We've seen AD and LeBron with the right role players lead us to the promised land. Now, I think they can do that again. I really do. He said, what is the best way to keep Malik Monk on the roster? If he takes a mid-level exception, right, which is about 5 point something, 5.6 or something like that. And then obviously we'll have his bird rights for next offseason, and then we can pay him a little more. Depends, though. He has to earn it because for me, as impressive as he was last year, and I love Malik Monk, told you guys he would be impressive before the year even started. Much as I love him, he needs to show it to me twice and for a winning culture type of team. Nick Young went off when we had Mike D'Antoni and Jeremy Lin and all those guys, but that didn't produce any winning. Some players can put up big numbers, and it doesn't mean a thing. So show it to us again. Show it to us. Let's play a winning brand of basketball, and then you'll earn that paycheck for sure. Off topic, DT, did you see the new Top Gun movie? I did, man. You guys recommended it to me over and over, and I finally got to see it a couple of days ago, man. I absolutely loved it. It was great. It was truly great. You know what's funny? This movie's been out for about a month, so there was absolutely nobody in the theater, and we were just there by ourselves talking like we were at home watching the movie, and we truly enjoyed it. So I would love Zach LaVine. Been having a feeling. Rumor has it he's going to sign the max contract with the Bulls, but you just never know. Nothing's official till it's official, right? I would love Zach LaVine too. Bradley Beal, Kyrie. I'm not complaining if we get any of those two superstars. Or I wouldn't say superstars, all-stars, right? Kyrie's the only superstar to me from those three. But, listen, at the end of the day, whatever we decide to do, I just hope we build right. If we don't get a superstar, if we get good role players, I'm happy with that, right? Because we've built a good team around AD and LeBron with good role players, the KCPs, the Kuzmas of the world, the Rondos, right? We can get some valuable role players like that. We'll be straight. And, of course, we have to get some youth. That's why we're looking to this draft, and we're looking to free agency. Is there any new updates on Kendrick Nunn besides the opt-in? That's the only update, man. Kendrick Nunn has just opted in officially today, reported by Woj, and which it means hopefully he feels healthy and he's able to play. Either we're going to hold on to him and he can play a major role for this Laker team, or he's going to be included in some package if we unload Russell Westbrook because he has some value to that contract. Again, another expiring contract. With teams looking for cap relief at times, and then if they get anything bonus from him on the court, that's an extra plus. Hey, what's up, Gucci? What's up, bro? Dan has reached all the way to Iraq. That's what's up, man. Shout out to Iraq. He says Swaggy P. He's been balling in the Big 3 league. Yeah, but there's levels to it, man. Big Three League is fun to watch, but it's a half court game. We're talking about a full court, top level, young man's game. Is what the NBA is. So yeah, I don't want to start no rumors about Nick Young coming back. What about Bradley Beal as a free agent? We sign him back, and we back in business for a title run. We cannot sign him as a free agent, Barry Grace, because we don't have cap space for that. And secondly, if he opts out, there's no way we can acquire him because we'll get hard capped. I mean, we could acquire him, but we're going to be hard capped, and it's going to be virtually impossible to make any other moves. So again, the salary cap is the last collective bargaining agreement was made this way to prevent super teams and prevent big market teams like the Lakers from having an advantage. Because in the past, all these moves were legal, and you were able to do everything and go over the cap and just pay extra money. But now they got all kinds of penalties. They got all kinds of hard cap situations. It's just like, wow. Hey, appreciate you, Martin. How do you feel about Bradley Beal? I'd love to have him, Jamar. He would be a dream come true as well. Obviously, I'm a Kyrie guy. You guys know I'm a big Kyrie fan. But I'm not going to be mad at all. I mean, I'm be equally as excited for Bradley Beal. Maybe a little bit less, but pretty much super stoked. And he would definitely provide a lot of floor spacing, which would just help the pacing and spacing of LeBron and AD. That would really be a super team. But you know what? A fan base can dream, and sometimes our dreams do come true. The best case scenario is, and we've made trades with the Washington Wizards before, obviously. The best case scenario is if he opts into that final year of the contract, but tells them, listen, I want out. I want to opt into this final year, but I want you guys to trade me. If not, I'm opting out and leaving you guys with nothing. And I want to get traded. Here's a list of teams. That will be the best case scenario for the Lakers, because then we have 2 first-round picks to offer up. We got young talent. We can get other teams involved as well. If they're not interested in Russell Westbrook, maybe we flip him to Charlotte, and Charlotte gives something to Washington, as well as draft picks that we are attaching to that. I mean, there's so many different scenarios that could be in play. But again, this is a players' league, and it's going to really what they decide is going to determine the outcome. So Kyrie wants to be a Laker, he would be. If Bradley Beal wants to be a Laker, he would be. But of course, they're going to also have to leave some money on the table, because those teams have bird rights, right? They have those bird rights. So, well, actually, no, they wouldn't leave a lot of money on the table, because if they opt into that final year, then they'll be eligible once they get traded. They're trading the bird rights. So once a new contract comes off the books, guess who can pay him, go over the cap and pay him the maximum, right? So again, the luxury, the tax, the whole cap situation is very complicated with this new NBA cap rules that they have. He said, Kobe wanted Kyrie to be a Laker. Kobe, listen, the one thing about Kobe that I respected the most is that he really wasn't a recruiter. He would recruit once in a while, but he really wanted to push the game forward and just help these young players get better and carry the game forward. I mean, that was the final message he left for LeBron James. What that meant to me, that final message that he tweeted to LeBron, carry the game forward. He was passing the torch to LeBron as the next great and saying, teach the young fellas, teach them how to play the right way. Not just settle for, half-court three-point shots and stuff, So, Kobe was so unselfish, and there's a lot of stories that emerged after his passing, God rest his soul. After he passed, obviously, we heard the Adam Morrison story really touched me, man. I almost cried when I heard that one. If you guys haven't heard it, go ahead and look that up on YouTube. I won't say the whole story here. But, man, just that kind-hearted person on and off the court. Free agent NBA teams, Los Angeles Lakers players. Wait, what's the question, bro? I see the question mark, but I don't understand what you're saying. He said Kobe Bryant took max contract, getting paid millions when he was no longer 100%. He didn't care about developing young talent. Okay, that is a stupid take. The Lakers wanted to pay him because we weren't landing anybody. We couldn't even get free agent meetings. So how about you take your stupid ass out of here, man, and don't be slandering my GOAT, Kobe Bryant. And of course, he wanted to get paid. You don't think LeBron wanted to get paid? He's a billionaire. All right, so just stop it with the bullshit already. He's not here to defend himself, but I am. I'm always going to defend Kobe Bryant. Some people don't even have him in their top 10. That's how delusional the hatred is for my man Kobe. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy out here. He said, y'all going to be trash again? Haters going to hate, bro. But we live in rent-free. Whatever your team is, we live rent-free. He's a Phantom Dancer said, meanwhile, Warriors got $100 million over the cap ridiculous. He said, how did it get away with that? Well, I'll give him credit in this, man. I will give him credit in this. It was all built from within. So when it's built from within, you don't have to worry about getting hard capped or any of that, right? They got blessed that Curry took a huge pay cut because he had bad ankles. And ever since then, it's been uphill from them. They've been drafting right. They've been obviously landing discounted free agents and mainly developing players right. That's their main thing. So the NBA rewards teams for developing your own players. And yeah, you're going to pay luxury taxes, but you won't get hard capped, right? They don't need any sign-in trades and stuff like that. So do you think any of the new draft picks this year look special? I like the top 4 kids, obviously. I think Ivy's flying under the radar. I mean, he's projected, Ivy's projected like top 4, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check, NBAdraft.net. Let me see. Let me just confirm that. Okay, yeah, Jaden Ivey is projected to go to Sacramento at number 4. I think he might be the second and third best player in this draft. Obviously, Jabari Smith is top choice. I like Paolo Banchero as well. Chet, he's a big question mark for me. Who knows? He has a very frail frame. He needs to add some strength, obviously, but for his position, he has a lot of skill. He can shoot, space the floor, very tall. So I like the top 4 picks. I definitely do like them, but I like that Ivy kid, man. That Ivy kid, I think he could end up potentially being one of the best players in this draft, for sure. Very versatile, combo guard. I mean, he's tailor-made for the modern-day NBA. Dan, what do you think of Kai Sotto? I like his skill set. He's very raw, very young, 19 years of age. I wouldn't mind if the Lakers bring him onto the G League team and then have him prove himself from there, but he might be a project. You never know. I think the Lakers are looking for NBA-ready players. Unless, like, a player jumps out of the page with his size and athleticism and stuff like that, physical gifts, then I think most likely they're going to go for NBA-ready talents. I did drop a video today of my top 3 picks that I think the Lakers should go after if they slip in the draft. If we can even trade up for a draft or buy a draft pick, or maybe they go and draft it. Who knows? But, yeah, it's out here right now, so check that one out. Dan, what about the 7-footer Kai Sotto? Would be drafted this year? Again, a good prospect for sure. Reminds me a little bit of Ivica Zubac. When we got him, he was raw. It took him a couple of years to get his feet wet in the NBA, and then he got to play some major minutes. And I'm not comparing him to Zubac as far as game goes, because obviously this kid Soto looks like he can shoot the 3, and Zubac is only a mid-range shooter, post player. But I'm comparing him as far as like how long it probably would take him to develop. It took Zubac like a year or 2 before he got some major minutes in the NBA. Do I think the Lakers should draft Shaq's son, or should we give Shaq's son a roster spot for the summer league team? Heck yeah! If he does not get drafted, we're talking about a player that obviously has the physical gifts. Obviously, he got the good genes from his pops, but we don't know what he could be. So yeah, I mean, why not give him a summer league invite? And if he proves himself from there, maybe even he gets a training camp invite. And he proves himself there, maybe he gets a 2-way G League roster spot. I mean, last year we were, switching those roster spots around, and Austin Reeves was a Cinderella story because he went from being undrafted to really impressing in summer league to impressing in training camp and getting switched out from a 2-way contract to a regular guaranteed contract. So Lakers made the right decision there. Yeah, Sharif would be dope, though. I'm rooting for the kid. I saw his interview today. He said his pops wasn't happy about his decision, right, to test the market. He wanted him to stay in school, but he said, he felt right. It felt right, and he wants to live his dream, play in the NBA. So I'm really rooting for him for obvious reasons, and let's see what he turns out to be. He said Teddy Rozier, Kelly, and Gordon Hayward would be great. We can't have them all. What 2 from that package? What 2 would you like on the Lakers? I prefer Teddy Rozier and Kelly Oubre because, at least those guys are going to play minutes. As far as Gordon Hayward, ever since he left Utah, he's been injury prone, and he has a massive, he has a massive contract that's going to last several years. So yeah, I'm not sure that would be a good acquisition unless they give up a first-round pick, which has been rumored, right? It has been rumored that they're willing to give up a first-round pick to attach his contract to any trade. So let's see what happens. He said Kai Soto has talent to develop for sure, for sure. And again, Lakers have tons of roster spots available. I do predict that, we're gonna be able to. I do predict that we're gonna be able to get some really talented unsigned free agents from the draft. So I'm hoping for some of the players that I mentioned on my list today on my video to slip down a little bit. The DeAndre Ayton would give extra interior defense. Yes, Mary, but DeAndre Ayton is gonna. First of all, I think the Suns will not trade with the Lakers, just because we used to be in the same division. Now there's no divisions. We're in the same conference. There's certain teams that the Lakers don't trade with. The last time we traded with the Suns, they did us dirty, man. They charged us an arm and a leg for Steve Nash, and Steve Nash didn't even play half a season, right? With the back problems he had, we ended up giving several first-round picks and all kinds of stuff for that. So I doubt we'll be making trades with them anytime soon, because they always try to rip us off. He said AD and Russ for Ben and Kyrie. Not gonna happen, buddy. I'm sorry, Sherry. Not gonna happen. No way, no way. AD's worth a lot more. As far as Russ goes, yes. But we don't need Ben Simmons and Kyrie. I'll take Kyrie or Ben Simmons for his defensive prowess, but I prefer Kyrie, obviously, for floor spacing and all that. But yeah, no. We're not trading AD. Not for that. We have to get transcendent young talent for AD if he's going to be traded. And what I mean by that is, obviously, we gave up Brandon Ingram. He's going to be great for years to come. So we're going to need a similar talent in return. A similar talent to that. He said Kendrick will be good as a 6-man. Yeah, I would not mind him, as a combo guard off the bench. He could play the 1 or the 2. That's okay. At times, I'm sure he can step up and cover for injuries or when players go missing, because he's definitely somebody who can score when healthy. However, after his injury, we don't know how good he's going to look when he comes back. But, man, we have so many variables here this offseason that we have to tackle. We're just getting started, Laker Nation. So keep it locked. Stay tuned. Shout out to my sponsor, Prize Picks, man. And thank you for everybody for showing love today. It's been one of those things that we dropped 3 videos, man. I've been working all day. Thankfully, I got to go shoot hoops and then come back and break it down with you guys. But it's going to be fun. I look forward to it. If I have to drop 3 more tomorrow, I will. Keep it locked. Turn on the post notification bell. And please subscribe. I will see you guys here ASAP as soon as something breaks. So have a great rest of your evening. Hopefully, if not, I'll see you soon. Peace out.